Hi everyone, welcome to Morning Coffee with Craig. And it's been really hot here lately. It's not too bad today, but it's been hotter than hell the last couple of days. And a couple of days ago it was 36 degrees, which is the hottest day in Melbourne in an October, supposedly for 90 years, which sort of makes it a little bit scary considering the sort of debates that have been going on at the moment about global warming. And global warming is interesting for a whole bunch of reasons, and not so much because it's pretty much given that humans are impacting upon the world's climate system in a negative way, but also what's more interesting is how our systems of government and our political systems, how they respond to those challenges. Which it always makes me wonder why the Greens in Victoria especially haven't had a hell of a lot of electoral success, because I just think that the electorate in some ways must have rocks in their head. Because no one else can respond to these challenges or understands these environmental challenges as much as the Green movement. So you would hope that there will be a big electoral landslide to the Green parties to help resolve some of these issues. And that question of adaptation seems to be, I think, one of the more interesting ones. So how are state governments, and how is all sorts of parts of the government, how's the taxation system, how are our sort of regulatory mechanisms, how are they going to respond to the challenges of our society heating up, and what happens when people's houses start to go underwater or something like that. People are going to get really pissed off, and they're going to get angry, and it's going to reflect in the political system in ways that perhaps we haven't even imagined yet. Like coming from Tasmania, where the Green movement started in the West, pretty much. Had the world's first parliamentary Green Party, and this all happened in my lifetime in the 1970s. That happened, and the Greens have had quite a lot of electoral success in the old West Germany as well, and the present Germany. But it's sort of funny coming from Tasmania, because Tasmania's always seen as this sort of pariah, this sort of backward, sort of American style redneck South that is full of rabid yobbos and rednecks who are chopping down trees willy-nilly. But Tasmania it has been one of the most successful places anywhere in the world in terms of green politics, in terms of protecting its environment. Two-thirds of the state is either under national heritage or under world heritage, which is the strictest level of conservation globally. So coming from Tasmania, it's sort of funny, because the electoral success of the Greens is all around cosmopolitanism, or inner city educated types. They love green, I suppose, because it doesn't attack their class heritage too much, because Greens in the inner city tend to be quite middle class, when it's not the case in Tasmania, where Greens in Tasmania can be farmers or workers or anyone. It's much more broad based. But the one issue that keeps Greens going in the city is the trees, the logging in Tasmania, which is sort of a problem, and I think Tasmania can do much more about stopping logging in old growth forests. But the reality is, politically, if Tasmania stopped logging in old growth forests, then Greens wouldn't have the same success nationally as they do now. Yeah, so the politics of green is still very, very narrow in Australia, very narrow. So it's about trees in Tasmania, or it's about plastic bags at the supermarket. It's not about sustainability of cities like this one, where you've got 5 million consumers or 4 million consumers just um, that lack so much meaning in their life that they just buy crap and fill up their garages. And consumer society is it's not it's a problem of affluence. It's a problem of people having too much money, not having enough. Well, there's still a lot of people that don't have enough money to eat and stuff like that. But for the majority of Australians, they've got too much money and they buy too much crap, and that's the issue that the Greens have to address to stop environmental catastrophe. And we've seen it before. We've seen societies collapse because they had total disdain for their environment. So, how large tracts of the Australian population eventually are going to eventually large tracts of the Australian population are going to have to wake up to the realities of global warming and climate change, but how they respond in an electoral way, in a political way, or in a lifestyle way, in an economic way, that's the really dangerous question. It's a question of how the nation's institutions adapt to those challenges. Okay, thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.